What's up? It's Cute Control. I am doing something that I've wanted to do for a while. Kind of a project that doesn't really need to exist. I wanted to go through and compile all my fingerboard clips and then just make a little walk down memory lane commentary type video on, yeah, whatever. These clips are from 2007-ish to 2012, I think. My whole style kind of changed multiple times, and you can kind of see that happen. A lot of this, by my standards now, of course, it's not great. It's not good to me, but at the time it was good for me, right? I feel like my focus was on kind of like learning tricks and figuring out how to do things that I couldn't do. I've always been one to like spend a little bit too much time on it, especially when I feel like I can't get something. I don't usually give up. It's more like I just go in and just do it until I get it. It's not really apparent to me how long some of these things took. As in, if I watched this like a year after I filmed it, I would have been like, oh, I remember that like hour-long session or whatever trying to get the ender to this or that. Now, none of that is apparent to me, so I'm sure a lot of this stuff took a good amount of time and it's just is gonna fly right by me, but that's okay, and probably the clips that I film now will do that too in the future, but now I feel like I have kind of a better handle on how I want my clips to look and like how to string two tricks together, which is a big thing in this video where I'm just kind of like doing a trick and then sliding the board somewhere else and then doing another trick. Like I like it to be more realistic now. The more I watch this, the more I don't mind, but at first it was really jarring. So anyway, let's just get started. Some of these clips I did a commentary video on my IGTV a few months ago, maybe like last year. Definitely last year. And the lock-in. This is a fun rail. It's a Tech Deck blind rail, and the board that I'm skating is a board that I made. I think at this time though I wasn't really looking for realisticness, I guess. I didn't really know that was a, you know, it's just kind of, again, I was just following my heart, like and not really making videos for anyone, like, but myself and my friends that were into playing with tech decks. Like there wasn't YouTube. I'm sure there was, but I didn't know about it in terms of fingerboarding at this time. It wasn't until later that I started posting stuff. So I kind of had a lot, oh my gosh, I kind of had a good amount of tricks under my belt at this time in terms of just basics. And thinking of weird tricks, but yeah, definitely there's a lot of like sloppy stuff, but a good amount of homemade obstacles you'll see through this whole thing, because I still have a lot of fun just making stuff, and also 540 flip, and also going outdoors and going to spots that is not how, whatever. There's so much stuff where it's like, that's not how you do it, you know, but you don't know when you're just starting. It's almost like it's bad if you're kind of like thinking about how other people are going to judge you too much when you're just starting out. It's like, who cares? You're playing with a toy. Like, it's not, have fun. That's the whole purpose. That obstacle is fun. I made it out of the end of a parking block that I got online for skating. Like, I think it was actually pretty cheap back in those days to get a plastic parking block. Somehow it was like $30. Back lips were fun for me. Shove it nose grind. That's at my friend's house. I spent a lot of time fingerboarding with my best friend Jordan back then, and that was really cool to have like somebody to fingerboard with. That catch was not good. Yeah, it was fun to have a buddy, you know, because it's lonely when, that's why the scene is so cool. Tray flip crooks, I guess that's when I learned that. Oof. Good catch. I was doing two finger stuff. It doesn't make sense, like what, I don't know if I purposefully transitioned. I kind of remember being like, alright, here we go, I'm doing two finger now, and kind of getting into that, but nightmare flip, hard flip, bad hard. I don't know what some of these are. Laser flip, kind of, I think. I also remember being really proud of this line because it was so many things strung together, but now my approach to transition skating is a little bit different. Like, I prefer to like watch people and in practice see like gravity being mimicked, and just kind of like an overall smoothness where I might not be that free now, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be that free to just kind of go everywhere. Too unrealistic, right? But maybe there's something in being naive that makes some interesting things. That obstacle I think I got on a field trip somewhere, like a museum or something, in a bookstore for $7. I remember being like, it's kind of pricey, but it's so nice. I can't remember who I gave that to. I gave oof. Look at all the grip on the wall. Yes, I didn't have foam tape back then. No, it was just skate grip. I still have those, at least 2 of those tech decks that are on the bulletin board hanging on my little board wall now. At the end of high school, I gave a bunch of stuff away because, you know, starting college and stuff, I'm like, I gotta kind of stop for a while. Yeah, I think I was really inspired by cheese and crackers at this time too, because I was doing a lot of like blunt combos, like tray flip, blunt, kick flip, whatever. I made that board. I was making boards at this time out of like Michael's plywood veneer. Like, they're weird. It's like for model airplanes and stuff, making custom, I think. So it was kind of like weird and light, but making a lot of ramps, like weird. You know, some ramps better than others. Sometimes I just have an idea and I don't have a lot of patience, blunt tray flip, and I just kind of, you know, just for fun. I still do that, like, and I'll just film a few clips on an obstacle and then throw it out or give it to somebody else. So I learned how to switch ollie back then, apparently. This board has, oh, that's a disgusting still. This board better. That's nice. I wish I had that right now. Hand-painted trucks and Tech Deck micro wheels. And those Nollie Nose Grind Vero Flip, I think. Weird anti-Casper thing. You know, this is a kid messing around with a skateboard, but I was definitely like into fingerboarding, you know, like making my own boards, and I don't know how much I knew about the scene at this point. I mean, when I think back of like the videos that I would eventually, disgusting still, I can't. The videos that I would eventually like download to my little hard drive and like obsessively watch, like Pissing Fingers and stuff. I think the first Pissing Fingers is like 2002 or something, like super early. I mean, even say if it's like 2005. I mean, my first fingerboard was the fingerboard McDonald's drop. I think it was just called fingerboard. I forget what that company is. It's like the logo like that. Yeah, that's technically my first fingerboard that I owned, and I saw tech decks, but I never had my own. But that was 2000, so it was already kind of in the cultural zeitgeist in 2000. But when I think about the early scene, as it were, even if it was like 2005 when things got going, which I'm pretty sure it's like more 2000. When did Fingers of Fury come out? All that stuff. It might have been even earlier than 2000. This was late. There were things happening that I just didn't know about because I wasn't really, like, I was online, didn't know about fingerboard forums. Eventually I'd go on to join FFI. Before that I would be on FBHQ and FBC, because for FFI you had to like be vetted and people had to like know who you were. And so eventually I think I got Carrie Death to like vouch for me. I think that's who got me in, pretty sure, because I was pretty active on FBHQ. Eventually in here I was getting into that stuff, but I don't think it was yet. I don't know how I figured out how to like make a fingerboard though. Like, somewhere I have my first fingerboard that I made. I gotta take a picture of that when I go to my parents' house next time. Yeah, it was really fun doing like gaps and drops and stuff, because it just feels so like, it feels intense. Because I was definitely skateboarding it, and like water gaps like here and stuff. Like, I was definitely skateboarding this time. Layback air to fakie. That's obscure. These are all my tech deck ramps that I had. So, you know, being a skater, you definitely have like a reference. It's probably, that was a disgusting kickflip. You probably have a bit of a different reference if you don't start out skating, or I don't know, like you probably have a different experience depending on how familiar you are. Wally correct nollie flip, that's weird. Kickflip grind kickflip with Jordan in the back. Kickflip tail slide. Yeah, there's a lot of outdoor clips. Definitely had a lot of fun with that. Kind of all end up being a little bit sketch. Which it's whatever. So that's a park that I built. Kind of wish I didn't lacquer it. I lacquered it with like polyurethane brush on stuff, and it just made it way too slick. It was a fun vert wall though. It was really fun designing that park and just having it like on my floor in my room. Pretty good sound too. Concrete's really, it's dense, so I still appreciate that. Like tech deck ramps are so loud. I hate, kind of sensitive to sound, I guess, so I favor when things are a little bit quieter. Shove it nose slide, tail slide kickflip, impossible nose grind, kind of bad. Hard flip front board, I don't know. Tray flip 50. Just kickflip back tail. Oof. Don't mind me. Big spin out. A little snow skate stuff. I used to reshape tech decks, paint them, and then have kind of a bit of a snowboard shape to them. Bend the kicks up with a lighter. For the grip, I think I used. I had like this belt that I was gonna throw away, and it was leather, and so the back side was suede, but I guess because I wore it a lot, kind of got this like interesting frayed texture to it, and so I used that. I don't think I had foam tape at this time. Obviously I would have used foam tape if I was had it for snow. It seems kind of perfect. Neoprene on the outside. Trying to film and light things up, and it's just fun. Kickflip nose grab, kind of. It's just fun to like make videos and document your progression and like get tricks and stuff. I mean, I'm still kind of addicted to it, I guess. That's appropriate to say. Like, it's something that keeps me doing the same thing for hours sometimes. And it kind of always has been. Just that personal progression. Yeah, this vibe of kind of, I don't mind so much the going back and forth. The sliding of the wheels is kind of annoying, but that table I remember being really slick, and like, we all had plastic wheels. There were no urethane wheels. There probably was, but not me. Knock the lamp over. Like, I don't mind the back and forth thing so much, but a lot of times in this video you'll see me kind of like pick the board up and like go again, I guess, and just try to string tricks together that way, which I feel like there's a way to do it. It's more appropriate than that, personally. No slide nollie flip, I think. Hippie jump. But yeah, sometimes it just kind of looks gross, but again, I backsmith tail shove, okay. Kickflip hippie jump, interesting. Hippie jump shove type deal. I was definitely into like Richie Jackson's skating at this time. I'm pretty sure I tried to do that, which is ridiculous. Primo ollie to hippie jump, like that sounds so difficult. Yeah, look at how sideways my fingers are. I was trying to do that. That's ridiculous. I guess it wouldn't be that hard now that I see how I did it, but and then switch. Oh, okay. Pole jam, that was like a little hockey table thing, pinball hockey table deal. What the, is that double flip? I always thought that was just the tray flip nose grind. Oh, it is just the tray flip nose grind. Yeah, protect freedom element board. Yeah, the flip ends at the 270, and then, is that flipping again? Yeah, I can't tell, it doesn't matter. Something nose grind. I think Gabe made that rail. My friend Gabe, shout out Gabe, you're the best. Still fingerboards from time to time. Wally stuff, Wally hospital flip, shove nose grind. I don't know. You know, I always enjoy being creative. Kickflip nose blunt, badly executed. Kickflip front salad, switch nose grind. Switch nose grind on something high, you know. Kickflip back nose blunt. I remember that being difficult. And then followed up by a tray flip, or 50 tray flip. That's kind of nuts. You know, so at this point, it's like I could do things. I just feel like my style is a bit like frantic, I guess. It's kind of, I liked watching it at this time though. I remember being like proud of it, you know. And some of the stuff I'm still like, wow. Okay, this is a sink that I got from my neighbor's garbage. Pretty fun, pretty dorky. I think I named this video, you know how people say like bomb hills, not countries, or like drop beats, not bombs? I named this bomb transition, but I shortened transition to the bad shortening, aka the T slur, that we don't say that now. But I didn't know any better, so maybe this can be a teachable moment. If you don't know better, and then you go around like crusty bowl men skaters who have been saying that shortening for a really long time, and you just don't know the T slur because you're a child and you don't know things and nobody's told you. Like, I'm awful at talking about it because sometimes I'm scared because the people who are saying it are like gonna freaking fight you. I've heard all the arguments, they're all bad. They're usually just like, oh, I've been saying it forever, oh, it doesn't mean the thing, oh, whatever. That may be true, but it's also, okay, phonetically it's literally the same word as the T slur. You know, it's a thing in the skating community that's just like, why do we say that word to shorten transition? I know other instances when people shorten it like transmission and all that. Like, I know, out of context for a beginner skater who might be trans or something, it's like jarring. Even for people, I've heard both sides of people, for older skaters in the scene who are like, yeah, it bothers me, and also like, no, it doesn't bother me. I've heard both, but it's like, if you're bothering people with something you say flippantly, it just comes down to that it's an awful slur in not that context, and it's the same exact word, and the people who have that slur used against them, despite that you may think that all skaters are like men who don't care about that stuff. That's not true always. It's just weird, and clearly it used to not make me feel weird, but people grow, people change. So I don't know. I've like debated whether to bring that into this or not, but I think it really, whenever it seems appropriate for me to say it, I really want to, because it's this thing that kind of, you know, quietly bugs me. I'm really bad at like saying something about it in the moment because it's scary, but this is a fine platform, right? Like, I have no harm to me that can happen right now. Nobody's gonna be like, the heck you say to me? Shove it 50 in a line. That's kind of fun. I think I made that board. That's a weird invert where technically your leg would be holding the board on the inside. Hold on. Oh no, it's not an invert, it's a boneless. Hold on. You just have to figure out how to half flip it and then get your back foot up there and then go on front side and somehow flip it back. Switch blunt, switch flip. That ramp was fun. I remember that. I think I filled it with like foam or concrete or something. Yeah, I was getting into making ramps, and I made a bunch of ramps in my little time. Some of them were bad, some of them were good. Definitely figuring out the transition of just how it curves is really difficult. A lot of them I would make using this method of having something that's bendable and then tacking down the four corners. I've made a handful of them that way. Sometimes it's just hard to get the right curve depending on how the material bends and how how sharp it bends when you hold something down, if that makes sense. There's a white ramp later where it's just kind of like banked. Material didn't bend very good. It just kind of bent very sharply. And then I filled that one with foam. So you could fill ramps with foam. I prefer to fill things with concrete. Actually now, it's funny, I fill things with traction paint. If I had enough hot glue to do it, I would just use hot glue because it's so much easier. You don't have to worry about the drying time. But hot glue is expensive, and you could just burn through sticks and sticks filling something with, not just with hot glue, but you put like a layer of like rocks or some kind of like solid trash, something that you don't care about. Go outside and collect rocks, honestly. Put a layer down, and then drizzle hot glue or paint over it. Just sometimes I use old house paint that I just don't want anymore. The issue with doing that when it's on the inside of something, it gets airtight, is drying it. Like sometimes it takes a really long time to dry just because the air can't escape and there's no air moving around it. So if you can leave things open while you're drying that, then that's good. Like leave the back of a ramp open if you're filling both sides in. Do like a layer of stuff and then a layer of something that'll sink into it, and then another layer, and just repeat. So it's like this kind of like block of stuff. And then when you fingerboard on it, the more solid it is, the better. It'll just feel like more of a concrete ramp rather than like a hollow ramp, because hollow ramps are just so loud. It's like a drum. I don't want to be trying to trick for a really long time and just have that noise happening. I'd rather it be no noise personally, but you know, some things I just can't do with soft wheels, so gotta have some hard wheels sometimes. But a little nose grab 5.0, I guess. Yeah, just making your own ramps and making weird stuff and then making videos out of it. It's just so fun. Like, it's so hard to get bored of it, you know? Big spin back nose blunt, I guess. Back hurricane to 270 out. I did like a big flip across. Big spin and then big flip. Like, right into the pocket. You did kickflip melon. No, tray flip fakie. Kickflip melon, fakie, shove it melon, finger flip, something completely unrealistic. I mean, that's also part of why I've always enjoyed fingerboarding, of like, you don't have to be realistic if you don't want to. Switch tray. I do like being realistic now, though. It's kind of a thing I prefer, I guess. Staple gun. Ollie to staple gun. Oh, definitely landed that with 3 fingers. Nollie tray, the double set. Kickflip front tail. I think some of these clips are from a tryout video, actually. Don't know what I was trying to do, but one of my first sponsors was called Panic Decks, and it was from Greece. So, it's probably for that, I'm assuming. Jeez, what that? Okay, bad hard flip. No, I'm sure I hit. Who cares? Hard flip Manny. Big flip. Jeez, on a, oh, I remember that tactic. I think it was like a Don Pendleton element graphic. Kickflip not a spin. On a bottle top filled with concrete. That's a fun DIY obstacle idea. Like, just cap a bottle, like cut it, and then probably could have taken the bottle part off now that I think about it, and just had like a nice, you know, boob thing. Would have had to lacquer it though, because if you're trying to knot a spin on, you're gonna screw your graphic up and all that. More outdoor stuff. Blunt kickflips. Kickflip blunt. Tray flip 5.0. It's a good clip. That was fun. A little rail impossible. A fingerboard classic. A non-realistic fingerboard classic. A little mani pad. Tray flip nose mani, everything touched. More on that full pipe. Maybe that was from the same day as before, I don't know. Try to get these as best in order as I can. I love doing loops and like catching it, you know. I think that was a kickflip Indy. They're so hard. It's so hard to wrap around and get it like that. Kickflip switch 5.0 180. Anti-Casper to I feel like I tried not to do too many random flips back then. Yeah, I just always prefer to like be a little accurate, but I guess out of an Anti-Casper, it's like, what are you gonna do? That spot is pretty cool. Lip slide, pop up, little cinder block, hippie jump, ollie on top. Yeah, this vibe of like landing a trick and then taking it the board and doing it again. Just doing a few tricks in a row, I guess, was the point. I don't know where I got that from. I don't know who I was watching in terms of other fingerboarders at this time. I had to have been like getting something from somewhere, you would think. Like, I feel like I was on fingerboard forums at this point. If I had that tryout thing with Panic Decks, that was when I was on FB community, fingerboard community. Kickflip board on the skate stoppers. Philly, great spot. Kickflip bendy, that was a better kickflip bendy. That's still just garbage. Don't know. Don't feel like figuring out what that was. The X Factor ramp on the wall. I love this clip, honestly. Like, I really like that clip. Even though it starts kind of weird, but it's an outdoor clip, so what do you expect? You're riding up a wall. It's unrealistic already, okay? Not a spin, and then, bah! I feel like either that took me a long time, or I remember, like, getting lucky. I have both thoughts in my head where I'm like, well, that could have taken, like, half an hour to get that good. Because landing, like, over something, I didn't really do much, like, vertical hand fingerboarding at that time, but proud of that one. Bink. It's a pretty smooth roll away. The lawn chair channel, the tray flip, nollie flip. Think I had, okay, those wheels, I'm pretty sure, because I can kind of see that they're big. I'm pretty sure, and I remember doing that to that setup because it was like a tech deck that I sanded the graphic off of. You have old school tech deck wheels, like the big ones, big mechanical pencils. Sometimes they had like the grip on them. Got the middle part. I think you can make two out of the middle part of one of those grips. It kind of had like this design like that. Probably do it with any pen grip that's that size that you can fit around a wheel. Kind of hard to have it stay on all the time, but you just have put a layer of rubber on, you know, on the outside of the wheel. That's like a pen grip. And you get these ultra beefy outdoor wheels. And I think that's what was on this setup. So this is a line. I think I submitted this for something. Some contest. Little Winkler spin. Ollie to nose. Yeah, I mean, this is, as a bad alley bendy, this is the ramp that I'm talking about with, like, it was just two banks, basically. And the vert wall is just, like... But I tried to fill it with foam. Still pretty good for sound, but in fingerboarding, I really like a good vibration to, like... That's why I like pro trucks and stuff, like... just has a better vibration to it, so when a ramp is kind of just doesn't have that, like, I prefer if everything was super solid. Like skating on like sculptures that are, you know, like stone carved sculptures is the best. It's so good. Like if I could have like a bowl that was made out of stone, it'd be a nightmare to move, but if I had like a house or something, I would love to have something like that. Have the resources to do that. That'd be wild. Little stair set, kickflip nose grind. Yeah, front shove 5-0. What am I thinking? I don't know what board that is. Tray flip 50. Tray flip blunt transfer. A little soggy there, but what are you gonna do? Kickflip back tail transfer to grinding the side. Close up sticker. That's pretty sick. Kickflip back tail. Awful form. That's not. Okay. I think the only reason I kept that kickflip back smooth. I think the only reason I kept it was because of this. I don't know where I learned that. I feel like I've seen somebody do that before, though. It's not a Dennypolitan, is it? Isn't it that? Not what I did. It's just what the heck? We're on the case. We gotta figure it out. Stale fish and then switch indie. No, normal indie. What? God damn it. This is rough. Okay. Frame by frame. It's okay, we got this. Okay. It's a fucking backside body barrel indie. Oh, gosh. No roll-up, though. That's another thing in my little technique where I land something and take it away. Like, I have a lot more appreciation for rolling up to things and rolling away from things now. At its worst, it's like a nollie flip where you start still and then you do it into a grind. Like, now I look for that, I guess. I don't, you know, but that's a personal thing. You don't, who cares what other people do. I like to have a good roll-up and a good pop that doesn't go back, personally. and it's weird to see how my taste has grown, I guess. I don't know what wheels those are. They're like brick colored. It's kind of cool. I was definitely trading stuff at this time. Like I'm trying to think if I've ever bought anything fingerboard related. I bought, when I got back into fingerboarding after like college and stuff, I bought why can't I think of it? It's like it's the four corners of now, a P-rep. So I bought a P-rep board and some tape. But I feel like I don't know if I've ever actually bought a new board, or like definitely not bought new wheels or trucks. Bought a lot of tech decks with my own money, but I'm sure I must have had to buy at least one board from somebody. But yeah, I didn't really buy a lot of stuff. I would just trade things, or like, obviously I think I got one or two. I only remember one panic board from that little sponsorship. The person who ran that was cool. The stair set is cool. I don't really feel like figuring out what this is because it's super sloppy. Nollie laser flip. Nollie Varel heel. Whatever. I would not count that now. Was that a frontside big spin kickflip? I'm tempted. You tempted me. Yeah, what? Ooh, I don't know. I do know that I was doing like 360 hard flips. I don't know why, because I remember being proud of that one, even though the landing is completely 90 degrees. Nollie backside flip. Yeah, 360 hard flips have always fascinated me because you can't really do them if you're Jeff Long song. But kickflip melon. I wish I still had that table. My goodness, let's look at that setup for a second. My gosh, I think those are, I want to say they're morning wood metal wheels. It might not be morning wood though, but they're blue metal wheels. They had like printing along the side that was like etched in. Yeah, metal wheels. Talk about slidey. Like I have problems now where I'm like can't use plastic wheels on smooth surfaces because I need some grip. I need things to stay like directly in line. I can't have anything sliding around. What did I do with that bench? I definitely don't have it. I don't know what board that is. They're definitely just Tech Deck trucks 28, whatever the measurement is. Switchback tail, it wasn't very locked in. It was more like a Susky. Switchback, Susky, / I was trying back tail, I'm sure. 270 switch frontside flip. It's kind of absurd. Big flip back tail. Still can't do that. Yeah, the bench was cracked. You can see in the thing it was cracked, but I mean, whatever. I still wish I had that thing. They're so sick. Picnic tables. And that old like weird metal they used to use, that was the trucks are kind of like that too. Oof. Yeah, I mean I'm still kind of a culprit of sometimes not popping things out that are 180s or shoves. Is what it is. But that was pretty horrendous, I'm not gonna lie. Kickflip back nose blunt. Oh, you can't revert it. I mean, do whatever you want. Switch big heel, but it's just a Varel heel. Oh gosh, more in this thing. Watching myself fingerboard on transition stuff kind of sucks. It's a little boring sometimes. I think that was a Z shred deck. Pretty sure. It had a little like stamp in it that said Z, and it was pretty crappy quality wise, but it was used, so. Just weird, like the corners weren't rounded over, and I think that really bugged me. Definitely got it in like a trade or something. Kickflip fakie, that was kind of sick. Freaking kickflip back tail. Yeah, it's a little run thing. It's funny how I really quickly moved to 28 and 30. How big are like dump trucks even? If you don't know, dump trucks was the name of the 28 millimeter trucks, but Flat Face sold them as dump trucks. They're like 29. These are 28. So a thing with these, not necessarily dump trucks, because I'm sure he quality controlled them. Tech Deck trucks, the axles, even on the normal ones now that are 30, I think they're just 30. that you can go to like Walmart and buy. There's always an issue with the axle length, the length of the thread, and if the axles are straight or not. And yeah, it bugs the heck out of me, especially like when you find that your expensive wheels are wearing down at odd angles because your trucks are fricked, and you have to like do some bending on them and hopefully you don't break them, you know. Then you gotta go to the store and buy a new tech deck just for the trucks, you know. No slide nollie flip. Feeble Smith, or Smith Feeble nose pick. Tray flip blunt. Remember having like homemade bushings on that board? Let's see if we could, that's the Z-Shred board. Thinking that Trade also got these amazing Z-Shred wheels that I still have. That they're like a hard rubber and they're still holding up. I gotta glue the bearings in because they have a little bit of bearing slip because there's just nothing but like a lip on the back, but inside there's nothing holding them in. Still got them, and I gotta look up like what Z-Shred was. I think it was just like a general supplier of things. That board was not so good, but those Z-Shred wheels are, maybe I got them later, maybe it wasn't in that trade, but oh, they're great. I gotta put them on something because they're so good. They're this jelly rubber. It's almost like having a hard, kind of hardish longboard wheel, but as a fingerboard wheel. Front shove blunt 180, ridiculously high kickflip, little tray flip blunt with those metal wheels. Yeah, I did that trick in real life this summer. Oh, but side ride, kickflip, side ride. Oh my god, it was a nightmare. I don't know how many times I went back and did it, but maybe 3. I filmed it once with Zach, and it was not up to my liking. That bench is so fun. I wish I still. That was another thing that I gave away, and I forget who it was. One of my friends. Such a good bench, like, perfect, freaking perfect bench. I'm probably idolizing it in my head. This was a cool idea. I really liked the clips that came out of this. But that bench just made out of like the best countertop. It was like velvety stone. I can't even, sheesh. Anti-gravity Winkler spin. I think that's just a big spin. Okay, what do we have? Oh my god! I think it's spinning front side. Extra confusing. It might be the hypothetical body is moving backside and the board is moving front side 360. Forget if anyone's named that. Oh, that's a brain twister. Yeah, you're going backside. Oof, yeah, okay. But caught with one finger, so to me it's like less of a thing. But I'm sure at the time, I think I was on the phone in that clip. Kind of a good clip, honestly. Kickflip, board side, kickflip, kickflip front board. Blink. Finger dragged. That bench. I don't know what type of stone material, composite, whatever that is, but oh, so good. Like so smooth and like just velvety, not polished to a glass texture. Oof. Switch nose grind, big spin. Switch back nose grind. Tray flip 50. Switch 5-0 180. Nollie flip lip. I don't know. So slidey. My wheels are sliding everywhere. That's kind of a cool trick, backside. I would do that now, maybe with some kind of something added to it. Front tail big flip, badly. Hippie jump stuff, bad switch flip. Bad backside flip. Tray flip. That's good. Okay, tray flip. Gosh, those kicks are like mountains. Those kicks are so high. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it starts looking like a freaking lunch tray. Kickflip backside Indy. Smacking it down. Not the worst. Fakey flip, nollie flip, okay. That bar was from that other set of Tech Deck ramps. Actually, Stoned Border has that same thing, but it's polished. His looks nice and polished, but yeah. Epic rail. Switch nose grind fakie flip. Switch Smith 180. A little Winklerish spin. Switch back nose blunt to something over the spine. Hurricane action. I mean, I'm assuming that's a... Would that be just a big heel blunt, or would it be like a laser flip blunt? How would you brand that? I'd say laser flip, 270 heel flip. Oh no, that's a barrel heel blunt slide, I think. Whatever. Dirty lens, my gosh. I don't know where I was getting... I think I've had 2 fisheyes in my time. I'm technically looking for a good one sometime, but kind of don't care. I kind of just don't care about my gear. I don't want to spend money on it. Oh, this clip is embarrassing because I'm shirtless. Just ignore that. You know, whatever. It was hot, okay? And then I'm a boy, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take my shirt off. Now I don't let anyone see my tatties. What the frick was that? Okay. I think there's like a vague flip in there. Might have just been laser flip 5-0. I remember that. I remember trying to laser flip 5-0 180. Like, I remember trying it, so clearly I don't know if I can do that right now. Kickflip back Smith. Could complain about that for a multitude of reasons. A little tailside kickflip. Just Winkler spin. I guess I like the Winkler spins. I am a Martin Winkler fan, I guess. Kickflip back tail. Over the thing. Okay. I hit the box. Okay. Alright, switch frontside flip. Just really done poorly. Kickflip back Smith. Okay. Oh, varial heel 50. Nice. Yeah, sometimes I think back and I'm like, was I doing heel flips back then? Like, I feel like I wasn't, but oh damn, that was okay. Oh, that's a freestyle bench that I got for free for doing, I did their logo. That was kind of sick, honestly. Blunt kickflip on such a weird thing. Sheesh. That's creative. Smith nose grind. Tray flip 50. I forget her name, but whoever runs freestyle is super cool. I did a logo for her, and then it's still the logo, and she's still doing freestyle. It's so sick. Like 10 years. We're so in the future now. It's so weird. I'm so much older than I was here. Yet I'm still playing with a skateboard toy. But it's endless. It's so endless. It's so hard to get bored. Little Wally had to hold it down. Wall ride thing. Nollie flip, front tail, kick flip. Meh. Smith's kick flip. Don't know what board I'm riding. I wish I had like a close-up of every board and every clip. Those might be flat face wheels. Or they might be the red ones from before. Actually, the red ones might be flat face wheels. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I got a set of blue flat face. I don't even know. My brain wants to say like G3s. I don't know if that's accurate. Like turquoise and red. And then I think they just wore down. And then eventually like I used like a mishmash of those on the outdoor setup for a long time on like this blue board with a weird thing on the grip. You'll see. Tail slide, backside flip out. Switch front blunt, switch flip. That's kind of, yeah, this board eventually became my outdoor board. It had like the Terry Kennedy logo, like the TK, it carved into foam grip, and I just like kept it. I guess I didn't have like extra foam grip, so I just like rocked it for months. It just had this huge hole in the grip, which like now it's one board that I have like cheaper foam tape on. Like I'm starting to get like a backside tail slide nail hole, and I'm like, time to replace it. I'm way more sensitive to it now, I guess. Kickflip, was that barley grind? No, Bennett grind. Kickflip back tail more. I did that trick a lot. Another friend who I fingerboarded with, Kyle, I feel like he did that trick a lot, so maybe that's where I got it from. Switch Smith front board, kind of fun. Little variations. That's a homemade flat bar, if it wasn't clear. Should have nollie flipped out of that. Switch 5-0, nollie flip 5-0. Switch 5-0, lip slide, no slide. I don't know what I was on about. Oh, that's confusing. I'm not gonna take the time to figure out what that Smith variation is. That's cool. Don't know why I would do that. It was so clean. Okay, I do have an affinity for, like, you know, my thing with it is, did it flip double? Can you do like a big flip like that and only have it flip once? So you can do like 540 flip, 720 flip, 900 flip. I guess let's get into it. Okay. It looks like it's just flipping once, actually. 3, 5, 7. 720 flip 50-50? That's funny. I think it only flipped once. Old school with a pink skate grip. Pretty fun. That's confusing. I think I had those Z-Shred wheels on that setup if they're orange. Just remember that setup having orange wheels, but I can't really tell. Yeah, it was a Alan Gelfand graphic, like the PAL with the tank, the purple one. That was a good setup. Skate grip. Yeah, it's funny. Foam stuff wasn't as popular, or like, it was kind of like hard to get foam stuff. I guess I just got it in trades, but like I didn't, like, now I have like a stack of tape, but like back then, like, I'm sure I only like had like a few sheets and I saved them for emergencies. Double Winkler spin to revert. Okay. Front feeble. Oh, that setup is so fun. Yeah, that's that weird hole in the foam grip. Strange. I guess I'll check out both of those. Impossible. Back lip. The fingers. Not landing it. I think there's like a shove it in there or something. Oh, these are trucks that I shaped, I think. There's a clip of them later. Frontside flip, banana slide. Ring finger touched. Big flip. Backside banana. That ring. Oh, all the fingers. No thanks. So, yeah, I mean, that's cool. Yeah, I shaped those trucks, and that pivot cup. Why is that pivot cup so high? What? That's cool. Yeah, it's really into like backing up my own tricks with like another trick. I don't know why. Switch flip back tail, not really locking in. Oh, fakey flip switch Smith. All the fingers. Oh, but that is a satisfying feeling, popping a tray flip out of a up ledge switch Smith. Could have been better at landed. A lot of stuff could be better. Yeah, the switch Smith tray flip is fun. I mean, the landing was trash. Backside flips. Yeah, there's the TK thing. Don't know why, don't know who it came from. Yeah, backside flip, switch nose grind, but like kind of the hard way. And then that weird landing out. Frontside flip hurricane. Or maybe just kickflip hurricane is how you'd phrase that. Hard flip 5-0, I think. Backtail fakie. No slide to board slide, I guess. Guess that's like a pressure flip type thing. Nose grind pressure flip. Nollie pressure flip. Kickflip into the side. Kickflip sort of to grind. Tray flip fakie. I wish I still had both of those obstacles, but definitely that ledge is like the perfect size. I think somebody gave it to me in like in real life trade. Kickflip back tail over the thing. I did that trick a lot, goodness. Didn't realize how much I kickflip back tailed. Outdoor, that's what became like the staple outdoor setup. with like the weird colored flat face wheels. I guess there's just like one red. I don't know what happened to all the other red wheels that I had in that set. I'm pretty sure I had both sets of like turquoise and red, and then eventually they just kind of disintegrated or something. I used them on stone obstacles maybe. It's a cat that used to come to my yard a lot. Like, it was pretty good foam tape to hold up for that long. Like, obviously the whole design didn't, but tray flip fakie just landing with all my fingers. Wearing shoes that were too big for my feet. Frontside flip, kick flip through. Oh yeah, I'm stoked on this trick. Freaking 3 hard flips through the tree, landed clean. I don't know, maybe it needs some replay power. Like, that's fun and self-filmed. Like, probably wasn't. I'm assuming that took a while. I don't remember any of this, but definitely it probably took a while. Kickflip front nose blunt starting from a weird place. Oh, this is from like a Unite edit. I think they had like a contest or something, and just kind of like do weird stuff, maybe. I think I tried to like spell out theme things. Little phone winkler spin. That was kind of bad. not gonna lie. What? Excuse me? 5-0 tray flip? Oh. Oh. I mean, it bounced and my finger dragged. I don't know how I wasn't like sensitive to that stuff back then, because I'm like hypersensitive to, like, it has to be perfect now. Like, and it's just me. Like, it's not, I don't know. I guess maybe if I think about if I landed something clean, maybe that people will see it and notice it has something to do with it, but it's like my standards are way higher because I know I can do it clean. Maybe. I don't know why how did it get so like this? I used to think I was pretty good back then, but now I'm like, it's kind of like intermediate. And I mean, you're playing with a board, skateboard with your hand, so you know, big picture, it doesn't really like what are we comparing other things to? It's kind of like relative to the person, but yeah, fun idea, old fish tank type deal. What would you call that back one? Nose grind, even though it's a switch 5-0. I think that was like a prototype tactic. I don't know where I got that from. I almost think that they were like selling that at one point. It's the same mold that they're using for the 30mm, 29mm, whatever tech decks that are out now. I remember when that came out, that was like the first board that everyone was like, what is this? Like, where did this come from? It was the first time that Tech Deck had done a wider board than 26mm or whatever they claim they are, 25 even though they're 26. I'm pretty sure. How did we get dump trucks then? Did Tech Deck make 28mm boards before this weird? I have one. This. It's like 28mm, 20 and a half, whatever. Same shape as what's on the screen. This whole concave deal, because when we saw this, we were like, what is that? Nothing looks like this, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Tech Deck's decisions have always just been kind of like off the wall, like. But to be fair, I also feel like they were one of the first ones, besides like Shorties. I forget who else was making little mini skateboards before. They were the ones who came up with these dimensions, or rather I should say these dimensions of a plastic board being this long, 96mm, with this amount of wheelbase, and we still have pretty much the exact same wheelbase, a little bit longer and obviously wider. They got it pretty close. We could be having I had this other thing that I have posted before, but it has the micro trucks on it just because I was making a silly clip. But if it had normal trucks on it, it would be the proportions of a skateboard roughly, and you could scale this down to kind of be more of the normal ones. Just saying the proportions of this are not like a normal skateboard. So I don't want to be like, oh, Tech has always have, it's always been bad to the scene and it's just always not been good or whatever. Like, no. And also it's made trucks affordable, which is great. Sometimes they're awful, but if you don't have money or you don't have the resources to trade people for nice trucks, then it's cool they exist. And it's very cool they're still in stores, right? The history of it is very like, wow, they kind of did some interesting design work. Some of the stuff as they went wider, as they continue to have soft grip tape, like as in like the fine grit grip tape instead of foam tape. Like I wonder why. I wonder if there's some safety concern with like touching neoprene and like kids doing, assuming that all foam tape is neoprene, which is probably there's variants of it, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I don't know technically what type of material it is. But they do have it on the Pro board, so I don't know what's stopping them from always doing foam tape, because skate grip is kind of niche and it hurts. But being a fingerboarder, you kind of have to have your questions about Tech and their decisions. A little outdoor park type thing. I don't know. Backtail kickflip, backside flip, switch feeble, crook. Nollie flip pop out, and then that's bad. I think I like sawed that thing and it took a really long time, and then it was not worth it. It's the freestyle bench, kickflip hurricane. It's the front feeble hard flip. Switch front feeble hard bad. I do not like when hard flips look like that. When they look like shoves, I like them to completely flap over. Sometimes I wish I could do more of an illusion flip style one, but tail kick flip. Weird hurricane. Kick flip over the whole thing. Sure, that wasn't easy, I would assume. 2 angles. Switch tray or something. Maybe that was a Vero flip, I can't tell. Sunlight's nice. Yeah, I don't know what that. Vero heel, curtain grind. Very high. First, it was lower. Such nose grind lip to weird. Yeah, that's that board. That's that outdoor board. Those are those flat-faced something or others. Somebody could probably tell me what they are. Homemade bushings too. This is for FFI Hesh Sesh. Those are those Z-Shred wheels. The outdoor setup got modified. Yeah, I used to like skate back here a lot. It's like an industrial park place with a lot of random cool spots. Boneless. Blunt kick flip. Completely out of frame. All these are out of frame. I mean, it's kind of sketchy, like going to some place where there's like people. So, gotta get in, get out. A little nose grind, Smith grind. I think there's a hippie jump at the end of this line. Boneless hippie jump. Yeah, outdoor fingerboarding is really fun. It's a bunch better if you have like, kickflip forward, right? Yeah. Kind of gross. It's much better if you have friends to do it with this, so it doesn't look so suspicious and weird. This is from a Real Death Crew edit that Renz Van Brie was compiling, I guess. And yeah, shout out Renz Van Brie. Wonder what he's doing. Just a lot of old school clips, kind of like imitating Barrier Cult, I guess. Wally front blunt. Boneless on top of the barrier. It's pretty abstract. Tail slides, who knows. Old school. Board, everything is extra hard. Not a spin on the chimney. Nose grind on the old school board. Tray flip. Front, that's gross. Front plant. I feel like those wheels are soft too, which is kind of weird picturing skating soft wheels on that chunky concrete barrier that I made and didn't do a good job of making smooth. Back heel. Yeah, I don't think I had that back then. I always think, like I said before, about the heel flip thing. If I'm like, did I do them? Have I ever back heeled before? Like, obviously now I have, but back then, I think that was my first back heel. I would assume I thought to do it though, because I really liked back heels in skateboarding. Like, that was like my thing for a while, so I'd assume I would try to do it on a fingerboard. I think I would just think it was hard. Pretty sure that's an Elias Asmith Berlin wood. Late flip, but I don't know. Yeah, I was trying to kickflip over like stuff in succession. I think this one took me a few tries, but still, it's like how many? I'm pretty sure I tried this for a really long time. Pretty good kickflip. I think that in the last one had some like stutters to it, which I absolutely hate. Like, for myself, but considering it, you know, it's a high kickflip. That's a gross quarter pipe I made. Might have made that in like a high school art class or something. I don't know. Yeah, landing things in the death box. That's a great idea. That's very realistic. Winkler spin something. A lot of Winkler spin variations. I did grow up watching a lot of Martin Winkler clips. Blunt kickflip blunt. I remember that quarter pipe didn't really have a deck, and it kind of ruined it. Like, or it didn't have like a back wall to it. Like, it just needed. Sometimes, even if it's like utilitarianly okay, like it's gotta have some like feel to it, like the quality feel when things are right. That was weirdly gross. Front tail, back lip, board side kickflip, fakey, something. Blunt back tail. Oh, that's a Winkler wheels board, like the blue and yellow one. That board is also Berlin wood. I forget what graphic. It's like the one with a little bird or whatever, chicken thing. This was a welcome video for, what does that say? Whose board is that? Oh, got it in a trade or something, so it was already thrashed. This was, yeah, a shop fingerboards welcome thing. My friend Jeremy Forget on FFI and maybe on other forums too, was doing this company called Shop, and I got on the team, made a bunch of graphics for them. This clip is pretty cool, and yeah, it was chill. And then he kind of like disappeared. I don't have any of his social links now. It's kind of like, what happened to Jeremy Forget? Gotta be somewhere, probably, hopefully. This is for a clip for, he had like white grip, and it's like a promo clip, I think. That's a shot board. Obviously that's a Black River pole bank, that I got in a, what did I get that in? I got that in a contest. Yeah, I won it. Oh, that bike rack. Maybe I got that in a trade. Imagine still having that bike rack. My goodness. And that bench, obviously, but oh, why did I give things away? Switch nose grind 180. Kickflip banana slide. That's fun. Skating it in a weird way. Little brap. Brrr. That's fun. Yeah, that board's a split from Jeremy, and flat face. That's weird. I don't know why I have the washers on the ends. Yeah, 29 Black River trucks that traded somebody in flat face I don't know, G5s? I can't remember. I recently traded those. I think I traded them to Jess or somebody. Recently traded them away. But those have been around for a really long time. I've used them so much. They're just so slick. Like whatever that plastic is, like nylon or whatever, like so slidey. And I don't know. I just can't with the slidey wheels. Maybe I'll get back into them someday, but it's too slick. So yeah, that was nice to have like decks, and I guess he probably gave me a little tape too if he had it, because I feel like tape wasn't so scarce around this time. That mini ramp was really fun. It was a redo of I don't know if I used the same plastic or different plastic, but yeah, I think it was a redo of one of my past ramps. I wanted to make it steeper, and yeah, it just came out better. Wonder where that is. I doubt I would throw that out. That's a great color too. This is filmed really well. Like, I really enjoy that filming. Caught the fisheye. Oh yeah, that board is a so I used to do this company called Tradecraft, and basically they were just bad. Like, and I'm sorry if anybody bought one and the holes weren't good or whatever. Like, because probably like looking back on it, I'm like, I did everything by hand. I can't remember how much I charged. I hope it was like 10 to 15 and not 20, but it might have been more like 20. And I'm like, I really hope they were worth 20 because, you know, but I'm assuming that whoever bought one was, I remember like people who were like into my clips or whatever buying them because it was me. And so hopefully was okay with them and they weren't just like, what is this? You know, I think they were okay. But I also just like took random art from the internet and paper graphic, printed it out, and just like made random runs of boards and stuff with random graphics that I didn't make. So kind of suspect. Like, I obviously would not do that now, but it was, if I did make a board thing project now, it would just be a hobby as well. But I mean, that's what it felt like back then too. It's more of like a hobby and less of like a copyright infringement. But yeah, obviously I would never do that now. I would always want to do things completely myself. So A, I don't condone that, and B, if anyone was ever bummed on that, I'm super sorry. Like, it's not chill. I mean, pretty sure the stuff that I took it from was from like well-known artists. I don't think I made any money off of like a small artist or something, but if I did, then you know, that's on me. You gotta live with your past. I want to watch this clip without having okay, that was bad. I remember that foam being like really thick, like weirdly thick, kind of like thinner foam tapes. Members only jacket. That is kind of a good front invert for being so flat. Like, it's hard to make them look good because your hand can stand so tall, and it's like compared to a back andrect or back invert, it's like can't really like equalize it and make both of them equal. Don't know what I'm talking about. That was bad and not an ender. I don't know what. Those are Y trucks. These wheels are great, but they degraded over time. They're like rubber. Another soft wheel. Well, no comply. I guess I had those then. Don't know what the heck that was. Whip slide. Switchback tail down the pole bank. That's fun. Ooh, a little pressure kickflip type deal. Tail block. Yes, I feel like I was getting more into like kind of old school skating in this time period, like on big boards on skateboard land. Little foot plants and stuff. I mean, I kind of always have been into that, but around this time definitely I was like only that. I think this was like during a hurricane, because I remember having the TV on and it was like set to a hurricane report. I don't know if it actually did anything, but yeah, I mean, that was a clean landing. Tray flip hurricane with the that's funny, I did a hurricane. That was a hurricane. You know, this whole thing, that's the Winkler Wheels deck. This whole thing is actually like the last clip in this whole deal. And I'm still kind of landing things a little sketch, which is interesting to me. And then when I came back to fingerboard land after college, I feel like my speed was off. Like my speed was kind of still like this. My timing was still pretty much like where I left off. and where now things are a little bit more syncopated and gravity is better emulated, I would say. I was really trying to get stuff clean, and I don't know where that came from. I mean, it probably came from skating and filming skate clips, beaming the camera. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. I probably should have dipped that Smith. Backside impossible to switch back Smith. And then for some reason, I mean, I landed that with all three fingers. Like, it's so weird. Like, how did I not? Maybe I just, like, I couldn't do better than that. I just don't get it. Because I remember spending, like, a lot of time fingerboarding, like I do now when I try to film stuff. Like, it takes a while to get things clean and, like, how I want them. And that was just part of how I wanted them back in, which is baffling to me because it's so opposite of how I feel now about, like, if that ring finger hits, like, even if it just grazes the tip of my finger, like, I'm like, nope, not good. But this was, like, one of the last clips I filmed, I'm pretty sure, when I got my DV camera back, because all this is most of it's on a DV camera. I don't know what I was filming on before. Maybe another DV camera, mini DV. I got the camera back from my parents' house, like, a year ago or something, and, I went through the tapes. One of the tapes was this clip, like, at least a chunk of it. And those tapes, like, for this clip, when I went back past the tape was only like a quarter of the session, and the tapes are like an hour long. So I'm sure this clip took a really long time, and it's so short, like, I just probably couldn't do better. Weird. And I had this, like, I mean, it's kind of like a jokey clip, too. I had this insistence about, like, backing the tricks up with another trick. Front foot impossible. Oh yeah, so yeah, this could be the ender to everything. Front finger impossible, and then land it with the other hand. Kickflip, land it with the other hand. Wrong clip. Kickflip front crooks. Why is it not going? Everything's broken. I'm having a hard time slow-moing. Front finger impossible to 50. And then kickflip, and then with the other hand. Wild. Okay. And so that's all the fingerboard clips from 2007 to 2012. Golly, it's been a while. I don't know. If you made it this far, you really gotta question what you're doing with your... Just kidding. I don't really know what else to say. Like, it's kind of silly, but yeah. Had a lot of fun over the years, and all the people that I've, like, met online and in real life fingerboarding. Super cool. Probably one of the coolest scenes out there. I hope y'all have a good rest of your time, rest of your day, rest of your night, whatever it is. And see you later.